add upon you, Yerushalayim, still in face Jerusalem. Blessed of the Sabbath. Repeat the Hebrew only. Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Ba'ashem Yahushai.
Ba'ashem Yahushai.
Asherah.
Asherah.
Nathanawa.
Nathanawa.
Ashabach.
Ashabach.
Bashalom.
Bashalom.
The water.
The water.
Amen.
Amen.
English translation. Blessed are you, Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai, that gives to us the Sabbath in peace. Thank you, so be it. Ta'alim Ma'a Asherayim Akkad, Psalm 121. Anya,
Anya.
Rayam,
Rayam.
Yinimya,
Yinimya.
O,
Rayam.
Rayam, Mayan,
Rayam.
Yabwa'a,
Babalu'a. Isaiah.
Isaiah,
Isaiah.
Yabwa'a,
Babalu'a.
Mayahawa,
Mayahawa.
Shaisha,
Shaisha.
Shemayim,
Shemayim.
Rarataza,
Rarataza.
La'a,
La'a.
Yanathan,
Yalathan.
Namawat,
Nawawak.
Regalia,
Volgaya.
Yala'a,
Yala'a.
Yanawam,
Yalawam.
Joshua Marka,
Shashamorka.
Hana,
Ana.
La'a,
La'a.
Yanawam,
Yalawam.
Wala'a,
Wala'a.
Yayeshan,
Yalasham.
Joshua Mar,
Shashamor.
Yashirala,
Yasharela.
Yahweh,
Yahweh.
Shemaya,
Jeremiah.
Yahweh,
Yahweh.
Zalia,
Josiah.
Ayel,
Isle.
Yad,
Yah.
Yanyam Yad,
Yah.
Yawamum,
Yalawam.
Ashamash,
Ashamash.
La'a,
La'a.
Akaya,
Akaya.
Rayorat,
Ayarak.
La'a,
La'a.
Balayala,
Balayala.
Yahweh,
Yahweh.
Yashamoya,
Yashamorka.
Mako,
Moko.
Rai,
Rai.
Yashamor,
Yashamor.
Napasha,
Napasha.
Yahweh,
Yahweh.
Yashamor,
Yashamor.
Awalakia,
Alakia.
Wabuaya,
Awayaya.
Maitha,
Maitha.
Wa'aib,
Wa'ai.
Aiwalam,
Baibalam.
Ba'asham,
Baisham.
Yahushai,
Yahushua.
the water,
Wala.
Amen.
Amen.
Psalm 121 in English. I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills, from whence cometh my help. My help come from the Lord, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. The Lord shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in, from this time forth, even forevermore. Amen.
Amen.
Shemai Yasher Hear, O Israel. Shemai
Shemai.
Yasher Allah.
Yasharela.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Allah Haynawa.
Yahainana.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Akkad.
Aika.
Shemai
Shemai.
Yasher Allah.
Yasharela.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Allah Haynawa.
Yahainana.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Akkad.
Aika.
Shemai
Shemai.
Yasher Allah.
Yasharela.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Allah Haynawa.
Yahainana.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Akkad.
Aika.
Deuteronomy 6 and 4. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our power is one Lord, Amen. Yahweh Tapalah, Yahweh's prayer. Abyanawa,
Yomanawa.
Shabbat Shemayim,
Bashishamarian.
Kadash,
Kadash.
Shamka,
Shemka.
Yahweh,
Yahweh.
Malakavka,
Malakaka.
Taba'a,
Taba'a.
Ratazawanka,
Balamanka.
Haya,
Aya.
Aisha,
Aisha.
Barataza,
Barataza.
Ka,
Bashamayim,
Latanawa,
Almanau,
Lakum,
Lokam,
Yawam,
Yowam,
Za,
Za,
Kasalaknawa,
Kalaknawa,
Kawafnawa,
Kalawaknawa,
Kasalaknawa,
Kalaknawa,
Kas Wala'a,
Wala'a,
Abiyanawa,
Auyona,
O,
O,
Nasai1,
Taiwan,
Abo,
Bo,
Shainawa,
Shainayo,
Morai,
Morai,
Kaya,
Kayai,
Laka,
Loka,
Amalakwa,
Alakwa,
Wa'ala,
Wa'ala,
Watapara,
Watara,
Laiwulam,
Lagalong,
Aman,
Alman,
Matthew 6 and 9. After this manner, therefore, pray ye, our Father which art in heaven. Hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come. Thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. That's Shirah Matazawat. The Ten Commandments. La'ah,
La'a,
Yahaya,
Yahai,
Laka,
Laka,
Alahayim,
Alahai,
Al-Qayyim,
Alkoim,
Al-Panya,
Aminaya,
La'ah,
La'a,
Taisha,
Taisha,
Laka,
Laka,
Posol,
Oso,
Wala'ah,
La'a,
Taibadam,
Tabalong,
La'ah,
La'a,
Talakwaka,
Talapoka,
Shamwa,
Shem,
Yahawa,
Yahau,
Alahaika,
Yahaika,
Lashawa,
Lashawa,
Zakar,
Zakar,
Af, Ayuwam,
Alawam,
Ashabaf,
Ashapok,
Lakudashwa,
Lonavakia,
Kabad,
Kabad,
Abiyaka,
Abika,
Wa Amaka,
Emika,
La'ah,
La'a,
Ratazak,
Ratizak,
La'ah,
La'a,
Tana'ah,
Tala'a,
La'ah,
La'a,
Taganab,
Tavana,
La'ah,
La'a,
Ta'ina,
Tana,
Shukor,
Shiko,
La'ah,
La'a,
Takamad,
Takama,
Ko,
Ko,
Ashura,
Ashira,
La'aika,
La'arka,
Amun.
Alman.
Deuteronomy 20 and 2. I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord thy power, am a jealous power, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy power in vain, for the Lord will not hold him guiltless that took up his name in vain. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work. But the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy power. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that in them is, and rested the seventh day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy power giveth thee. Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor's. Amen. Yeshua, please be seated. Barakata Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Asherah, Natananawa, Pawya Gapan Tuaraman, La Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Af Yasha Allah. English translation, bless our Yahweh in the name of Yahushai that gives to us the fruit of the vine. Thank you, so be it. Yahweh in the name of Yahushai with Israel. I madu upon you, Jerusalem, send face Jerusalem. Repeat the Hebrew only. Barakata Yahweh, Agado, Rakarum, Abiyah, Wanawa'a, Aliwan, Malak, Shom, Shemayim, Barataza, Wakov, the volume, Kayam, Wagum, Amashiach, Mayahawa, Alawanawa, Ahabnawa, Apala, Ya'itaza, Yahushai, Zakarnawa, Yahweh, Batazawan, Ainka, Yasha'ala, Aizonawa, Bana, Wasap, Yasha'ala, O, Nanawa, Yamyan, Aitha, Kayawamyam, Makudam, Babakushai, Shalat, Micah Allah, Watazawadak, Alahayam, La, Maganawa, Wapanawa, Washamar, Alnawa, Baikur, Shalak, Awoka, Shah, Yahushai, Lanawa, Lalamadnawa, Rabiam, Dakama, Tabawana, Wada Aif, Shah, the Barker, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, the Wada, Tamyad, Ba'iwulam, Amen. English translation. Blessed are you, Yahweh, the great, merciful, mighty, terrible, most high power, King of heaven and earth and all things living, and also the anointed from Yahweh, our Lord, our friend, the wonderful counselor, Yahushai. Remember us, Yahweh, favorably, your people Israel. Help us build and gather Israel. Musa, we beg you right now, like the days of old. Righteous powers to, he sent Michael, the righteous powers to protect us, heal us, and watch over us, and mainly send the spirit of Yahushai to us, to teach us much wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of thy word. In the name of Yahushai, thank you, always and forever, so be it. Repeat the Hebrew only. Blessed are you, Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai that gives to us the law. Barakata Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Asherah, Atadanawa, Atawara. Blessed are you, Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai that gives to us the light to see. Barakata Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Asherah, Natananawa, Awor, La'arat. Blessed are Yahweh in the name of Yahushai that gives to us the ransom to call the people. Barakata Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Asherah, Natananawa, Quran, Ayo, Lakara, A'ain. Blessed are you, Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai that gives to us the olive oil to anoint Israel. Barakata Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Asherah, Natananawa, Asheman, Zayaf, Lamashak, Yasha Allah. Yeshua, please be seated. Shalom, Yashala. Shalom, brothers and sisters. Shalom, those listening on the conference line. Shalom, those watching on the live stream. Welcome to Ayashala Kanas, where we teach at the so-called Negroes and Hispanics, those scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, are the real Jews that the Bible speaks of. We are in a lower state because we broke the agreement that the Most High had with us, right? And we find ourselves in the condition that we are in to North, Central, and South America, right? So today is the Lord's Sabbath day, as we read in Exodus. Today is a holy day, and we will be going to some scriptures, mainly chapter 33 and 34 in the book of Exodus. Turn to your Bible in the book of Exodus, the 33rd chapter, as well as your Apocrypha and also your notebook, so that we can go over the chapters today. I hope that you all had a good week. And as the week closes today, the last day of the week, the 7th day, right, we come in to worship the Most High because He allows us to see another week, right? Today's reading is going to be in Exodus chapter 33. I've given everybody a chance to get themselves situated before we begin. So in this chapter that we're going to read today, we're going to read Moses being the mediator between us and the Most High. Because we sin against him, the Most High had a mediator come in, and also a messenger to get the message from the Most High and to deliver to the children of Israel. All right, so that mediator is Moses, and Moses would help prepare the way for us to receive the Most High's mercy. All right, so we're going to tackle chapter 33. Says, and I read verse 1. It says, and the Lord said unto Moses, depart and go hence, and go up hence, thou and the people which thou hast brought up out of the land of Egypt, unto the land which I swear unto Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, saying, unto thy seed will I give it. Now, in the first verse, notice how the Lord addressed Moses about us. Us meaning the children of Israel. He said, he told Moses, go up hence, thou and the people which thou had brought out of the land of Egypt, unto the land which I swear unto Abraham. So now what do we see here? When he mentioned thou, right? The Most High right now, if you take notice, he told Moses he's the one who brought the children out of the land of Egypt. So now, was it Moses that actually took the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt? It was the Most High. But the Most High is speaking here very distant in regards to Israel. So he's telling Moses, you go tell your people, people that you brought out of the land of Egypt. So why was that? The reason is because we sin against the Most High. It's kind of like when you have a father and a mother in a home, and the child or the children are acting up, or one of the children is acting up, and the mother say, hey, go talk to your son. So she distanced herself, as if that is not her son as well. He said, go talk to your son. You see what he did? Go talk to your son. Because she's displeased at the way that the son acted. So we see the same situation happen here with the Most High telling Moses, thou and the people which thou hast brought up out of the land of Egypt. So the Most High is putting himself at a distance, right, in this conversation here that he's having with Moses. And keep in mind, Moses was in a peculiar situation here, right? The Most High doesn't hold conversation with everybody. So Moses was privileged to have a conversation with the Most High, right? On our behalf, as a messenger or a mediator. And he says, unto the land which I swear unto Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, saying, unto thy seed will I give it. So now in the midst of us being disobedient to the Most High still want to keep his promise. But that doesn't make it as if he's not angry at us, right? Even though he's gonna keep his promise, but he's displeased by our behavior. In verse 2, and I will send an angel before thee, and I will drive out the Canaanites, the Amorites, and the Hittites, and the Perizzites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites. So now, let's say I'm speaking to the main man, and the main man told me that he's gonna send somebody else with me, right? That's automatically I will feel like, dang, you're with me. Why don't you come with me? Why are you sending somebody else? Right? Why are you sending somebody else instead of you coming with me? Right? And let's see what Moses responded to the Most High when the Most High told him that. In verse 3, unto a land flowing with milk and honey, for I will not go up in the midst of thee, for thou art a stiff-necked people, lest I consume thee in the way. Amen. So the Most High said he's not going to go. And the reason why he's not going to go is because if he go himself in the midst of us, his holiness will get rid of us. What's your question?
So you saying he's not going himself, but he sent the angel to go.
He's not going to go. He said he's going to send the angel. Right? He's not going to go because in verse 3 right here it says, in verse 3 right here it says, but that he's not going to go because we stiff-necked. Right? We are stiff-necked people. So if he go, if he go, he's going to destroy us.
Right.
Now, not because that he doesn't like us. Why do you think he's gonna destroy us?
Well, we hard-headed if we ain't following the law.
So not going, is it a good thing or a bad thing for him not being able, not want to go with us?
Because
he sent the angel instead. Because if he has to go, it's gonna be a different way. You know what I mean? He ain't gonna take that much time with it. That's what it means.
he ain't gonna take no shit. Can we say that?
Yeah.
He gonna destroy you on his back.
Yeah.
But the angel gonna have more mercy than him. I'm trying to figure this
That's
out.
a good thing.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, the Most High has more mercy. Because of his mercy, he's not gonna go. Because if he goes, we done.
I know.
So because of his mercy, he's not gonna go.
Right.
So if he go, in a split second, Israel will be wiped out.
Right.
Why? Because the Most High is light, and light has no part with darkness, and we full of sin in us, which make us very dark.
Okay.
So light has no part with darkness or sin. So therefore, if he went, that would have been the end of us.
Right.
So instead of sending, instead of going himself, he sent the angel. So now let's see how the conversation went. So that was verse 4, right?
Yeah.
Now link with verse 33 and 4, 2 Samuel 19:24.
What's it?
2 Samuel,
Verse 33 and 3, though.
yes, verse 33 and 4. Chapter 33, verse 4. Link with 2 Samuel 19 and 24.
I don't think we read 4. We just read 3, didn't we?
Yeah, we're a little ahead. All right, so let's keep that when we read 4. Okay. Huh?
That's the precept.
Exodus 33.
33.
Okay.
And also I have one link for 33 and 3. Let me get it. All right, bear with us for a second. All right. Shalom. Shalom. Shalom, sister.
for the seed, yeah.
Shalom, sister. All right, so bear with us for a second. Those are watching on the live stream. We're getting some link ups and also giving the sisters, the brothers and sisters who just walk into a settle so we can continue. All right, so let's see the Most High. If we are not clean or we are not pure, in a split second, the Most High can get rid of us if He were to appear before us. So let's link up with with chapter 33 and 3 in Exodus, chapter 16 in the book of Numbers. Numbers chapter 16 and verse 21. So showing that the Most High not or present himself with Moses it was for our own benefit. So that's why he wanted to appoint the angel to go with us. Just to show you that the Most High doesn't want to get rid of us. If he wanted to, he would have done so right that in there. When you read it, please read it for us, Babu Kusha.
Okay.
So the Most High is giving the message to Moses to come and tell us that we are stiff-necked people. So the people that he knew, right? He knew who we were before we even know ourselves. So he's telling Moses, just go tell them, right? And in the midst of it, he tells Moses, I'm not gonna go. So now read Numbers chapter 16 in verse 21. Goodbye. And to get the better understanding of it, read verse 20. Read from verse 20. 20 and 21.
All right. Numbers. Yeah,
Numbers
16.
16 through 20.
Okay.
Yeah. Numbers 16 and 20. And the Lord spake unto Moses and unto Aaron, saying, separate yourselves from among this congregation, that I may consume them in a moment.
So he said, get, them. So in a moment, I can just get rid of them.
In a moment.
In a moment.
In a moment.
So imagine if the Most High had to take the journey with us. So that wouldn't even be a journey to begin with. So before we even start, we would have been gone.
Was our stiff neck.
Yes,
Right.
right. Because there's a place to the yeah.
Right? So sometimes we gotta focus on our characteristics, the characteristics that we think. So it's not always so much the nation in Esau. We gotta take a look at ourselves first and foremost, because the Most High is dealing with us, not with the other nation. So let's go back to Exodus chapter 33 now. We at verse 4. We're gonna read verse 4 now. Because sometimes when we do that, we just want to pass responsibility to somebody else. And it's always easy to do so, because sometimes to be a self-critic, but it's difficult. It takes courage, to take a look at things and criticize things that are good about you and things that are bad, instead of looking at us as all good in the way we are right now. When we are in our righteous manner, we are okay, we are fine. But when we're not in our righteous manner, we are not good at all. But to point the finger is easy. Easy to point the finger. So that means we alleviate ourselves from the duty, taking action, right? To change our ways. So back to 33 now, we're reading verse 4. And when the people heard these evil tidings, they mourned, and no man did put on him his ornaments. So now when we find out how much the Most High detests us, to the point where he doesn't even want to associate himself with us, we felt some type of way. Right? When Moses came and delivered the message, we felt some type of way. The Most High didn't even want to deal with us like that, because of the way we behave right now. So the people, they felt so bad. They felt so sorry. To the point where they didn't want to put on any ornaments, any jewelry of any sort, because you remember what happened to those jewelry that they had, right? They took it and gave it to Aaron, so Aaron can make the golden calf. So at that point, they didn't want to even put any ornament on themselves. Right? It was because of the action they took with those ornaments that got the Most High to be so angry at them. Right? So now go back to let's go to 2 Samuel 19 and 24 now, to link with verse 4. Yeah, 2 Samuel 19, 24. We link it with verse 4.
And Numbers with verse 3.
Come. So let's see. Let's read a similitude of us not wearing the ornaments. In Malak. Read 2 Samuel. Look for 2 Samuel, chapter 19 and 24. Second Samuel 19, verse 24. And give a second for the rest of the people to get it.
Second Samuel, 19, verse 24. And Mephibosheth, the son of Saul, came down to meet the king, and had neither adjusted his feet, nor trimmed his beard, nor washed his clothes from the day the king departed until the day he came again in peace.
All right. So this shows the same way we didn't want to put the ornament. Sometimes when somebody's mad at you and you feel some type of way, you feel in a state of distress, right? You feel that, man, until I'm good with that person, I don't feel good. I don't feel right. I don't feel like I should be in a state of happiness right now. So it's the same way what happened in Exodus here, where we didn't want to put the ornament, and we were so discouraged at what we did or the way we behaved that we did not want to, present ourselves and decked out as if, we deserve it.
You want to double that scripture again, 2 Samuel?
That's 2 Samuel 19 and verse 24. Funny. So now let's go back to Exodus. And now we're going to read verse 5. All right, Exodus 33 and verse 5 now. And when the people heard these, verse 5 says, for the Lord had said unto Moses, say unto the children of Israel, ye are a stiff-necked people. So now he's pretty much telling Moses to go tell them, pretty much, go tell them they are stiff-necked people. Right? And he says, I will come up into the midst of thee in a moment and consume thee. Therefore now put off thy ornaments from thee, that I may know what to do unto thee. It was like, just go tell them they are stiff-necked people. Strip yourself of all those jewelry and things you got, the nice decked out stuff. Just take them up. Then I'll decide what's going to be my next action to you.
It sounded like he's mad, but we would not put the ornaments on, and then he's going to destroy whoever don't put the ornaments on. That's what it sounds like.
Right. So since they are stiff-necked, some might some might decide they want to do it, some may not. But he wanted to express himself how angry it was. Correct. Verse 6. And the children of Israel stripped themselves of their ornaments by the mount Horeb. So they listened at that point and took off the ornaments. Verse 7. And Moses took the tabernacle and pitched it without the camp, afar off from the camp, and called it the tabernacle of the congregation. And it come to pass that everyone which sought the Lord went out unto the tabernacle out of the congregation which was without the camp. So now, pitch the camp, right, to receive the Most High. Now notice, the camp was not in the midst of the people. The camp was afar off. Right? We're gonna probably the way it's turning, right?
Yeah, I was wondering whether that number.
Yes. All right, so in verse 7 here, and Moses took the tabernacle and pitched it without the camp, afar off from the camp. So why would he took the camp and put it afar off from the camp?
Because the people were stiff necked and rebellious when the Most High didn't want to be in their presence.
Correct. He didn't want to be in their presence. So now in verse 8, and it came to pass when Moses went out unto the tabernacle, that all the people rose up and stood every man at his tent door, and looked after Moses until he was gone into the tabernacle. It's kind of like when somebody is not your friend, they knock on your door. Instead of welcoming them into your house, you shut the door behind you, and you have a talk with them outside. Right? I don't want to be, I don't want you to come to my house. We're not on good terms like that. Just, let's have a talk outside. So this is kind of like the same way. The Most High is not our friend at this point. Right? So he wanted to do all the conversation, only Moses, and not even, near us. Right? But he wanted to show us that he's there. Right? We just got to do things right. Then, he will come back in our presence. But at this point right now, he doesn't want to deal with us like that. Right? So with verse 33 and 7, let's link Exodus 25 and 22. There got to be a way, because last time he wasn't doing it.
You said you read that 35, 22?
25 in verse 22.
Verse 22.
Come.
Number 7.
All right, so verse 22 reads, Exodus 25 and 22, and there I will meet with thee, and I will commune with thee from above the mercy seat, from between the two cherubims, which are upon the ark of the testimony, of all things which I will give thee in commandment unto the children of Israel. Right, so that was when the Most High, when we had the tabernacle, right, and the Most High communed with the children of Israel. but it was inside the temple. But at this point right now, it was outside. The note, you know, the Most High want to deal with us on a different level, outside, not as a friend. But still, he's gonna give message to Moses to deliver to us, but not, you know, commune with us directly. Also, in that same chapter, all right, let's link just that one. 42. All right, so that's it on that one. So let's go back to Exodus. In verse 8 now. And it came to pass, when Moses went out unto the tabernacle, that all the people rose up and stood every man at his tent door, and looked after Moses until he was gone into the tabernacle. So they observing what happened. Moses, they watching Moses, they stand out there, the doorpost of their tent, and they watching Moses going into the tabernacle, right, to communicate, to have a conversation with the Most High, to receive the message, and to come talk to the children of Israel. And it came to pass, as Moses entered into the tabernacle, the cloudy pillar descended and stood at the door of the tabernacle, and the Lord talked with Moses. Right? As we said earlier, it is rare that the Most High have a conversation with anyone. So, as a matter of fact, he had that conversation with Moses, you know, directly. We had Exodus 25 and 22. We linked that with verse 7. So now, remember, we knew that it was the Most High that delivered the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt, right? And in verse 3, the Most High, in verse 1, he spoke as if he did not do it. He distanced himself from the children of Israel. He said, "Hey, you Moses, go tell his people, those people that you came and brought up out of the land of Egypt," as if it wasn't him that did it. So he didn't want to, you know, have part. Right? So now we had verse 33 and 8. We just read 33 and 9, and now, so now let's link that with Exodus. Let's link that verse 9 with Exodus 13:21. So we're gonna link Exodus 33 and 9 with Exodus 13:21, and I'll read this. Right. And it reads, "And the Lord went before them by day in a pillar of a cloud to lead them the way, and by night in a pillar of fire to give them light, to go by day and night." So he actually brought us out of the land of Egypt, but when he was speaking to Moses, he made it seem like you did it. These people, you did it. Go talk to your people that you got out of the land of Egypt. So that's how much he didn't want to have part with Israel. Right. But he the one who did it. But in the conversation with Moses, Moses wanted to take, possession of Israel. The Mosai didn't want to take possession of Israel. So they both were on the fence, like, man, I don't want to deal with these people. So now we're gonna see the conversation is gonna get more interesting as they talk, as the Mosai talking to Moses. Verse 10 now. And all the people saw the cloudy pillar stand at the tabernacle door, and all the people rose up and worshiped, every man in his tent door. So now, they start to act right. Verse 11. And the Lord spake unto Moses face to face. Pay attention to that one. The Lord spake unto Moses face to face. What does that mean? Anybody?
He spoke directly to
Maya.
Moses.
Huh?
He spoke directly to Moses.
Looking at him face to face.
I wouldn't say he has to change him face to face. But he spoke to him like as if he was in his presence.
That's correct. But as far as looking at his face to face, that's not the face, because we know it says that can no man see the Mosai's face and live. And keep in mind, Moses is a man, and the Mosai is all holy. The only way we'll be able to see the Mosai is when we become holy. And Moses was a man at that time.
Well, that kind of throws you off with face to face.
Right.
Well, he spoke to him as he was in his presence. I could be in your presence, right? And I could be in the back, but I don't have to see your face and hear your voice.
Exactly.
You understand? I can hear every word you're saying. Right. I can be back there, fixing the nail, and you say, yo, Yashimai, yo. I can hear
right. But Yashimai is there. We having a conversation.
Right.
So that's how the conversation went. Right. And we're gonna see that. So as a matter of fact, before we go there, let's go to Revelation 1:17. Because we remember John saw Yahushua, right? And remember, Yahushua was among us. We were able to see him face to face. And he said, if we see him, it's like we see the Father. So how come we didn't die when we saw Yahushua face to face? And we didn't die and we saw him face to face. And he said, if you see me, it's just like you see the Father. So let's go to Revelation 1:17. It's not that we cannot see the face of the Most High, but we have to be in our glory, meaning sin has to be eradicated from us in order so that the body can be transformed, so we'll be able to see the Most High's glory. But until then, no man in flesh that we know today can see the Most High's face and live. Come, you got to be in pureness. Let's go to Revelation 1. We're going to read verse 17 as well as verse 18. Yeah. Revelation chapter 1, verse 17 to 18. So now keep in mind, the disciples, they walked with Yahushua with no problem. Right? They didn't die. And Yahushua represents the Most High. Right? He was the representation of the Most High here. And we saw him. In Revelation 1:17, it reads, and when I saw him, I fell at his feet as dead. So when John saw Yahushua, this was after his death, after he died and resurrected, right? Now he was in full glory now. How? Let's read. It says, and he laid his right hand upon me. Fear not, I am the first and the last. I am he that liveth and was dead. So that's Yahushua, who lived and he was dead. But when John saw him, he fell at his feet. Why? Because at that point he was in his glory, and it's now he become very on top of his game now. Right? So now if you see him now, it's a different story. Because now he's in his glory. In verse 18, let me finish verse 18. It says, I am he that liveth and was dead, and behold, I am alive forevermore. Amen. And have the keys to hell and of death. So now he conquered hell, he conquered death. He's in his glory now. Same man that we were seeing, same image, but now he was in his glory. But when John saw him, he could not even stand to look at him. He felt like a dead man, because can no man see his face and live? Because now he's in his glory. So it's the same way Yahushua is the same resemblance, right? But he was made a little lower so that we can be able to deal with him in the flesh. Right? So now we will be able at some point in time, if we make it in the kingdom, we will be able to see the Most High face to face and Yahushua face to face. Right? At that point, we won't be able to die, because Yahushua just said right here, he conquered death. Right? Since he conquered death, we will be in our glory as well. So being in our glory, we'll be able to see the Most High's glory. Right? So now let's read 1 John. So the first one we read was Revelation chapter 1, verse 17 to 18. And then now we're going to read 1 John chapter 3 and verse 2. So us not being able to see the Most High face to face right now is of mercy. He has mercy for us. He doesn't want us to, because once we see it, we dead. But when we're in our glory, we'll be able to do so. So that's why he didn't even want to go with us. He sent the angel, because he's so holy, he cannot stay in our presence while we in sin. First John chapter 3 and verse 2. And it reads, Beloved, now are we the sons of God, and if we do not yet appear, and it doth not yet appear what we shall be. Know that when he shall appear, we shall be like him, for we shall see him as he is. Right? So we'll be able to see him as he is.
When he shall appear, we shall be like him, for we shall see him as.
We're getting a feedback. Whoever's phone is wide open, please put it on mute. Because we're getting the feedback here. The water. All right. So now,
What was that, John 3 and what?
That was 1 John chapter 3 and verse 2. All right. So we will be able to see the Most High at some point when we transform, right, from this sinful body that will be transformed when the Most High appears. But until then, No man able to see the Most High in this wicked flesh that we live in. Okay. So now there are more scriptures on that. Now even the angels, not just the Most High, even the angels, we cannot see easily like that unless the Most High open our eyes, to see them. So let's see 2 Kings 6:17 on that. 2 Kings.
2 Kings.
2 Kings chapter 6 and verse 17. We linking it up with in verse 9. So verse 9, let me see.
Have you seen linked with 9?
Let me double check. Make sure. 11. Come on, we had verse 11, yes. All right, 2 Kings now, verse 6 and 17. Chapter 6, go out. Start from verse 16, right? So we can get it clearer. Verse 16. There are things that are happening right now beyond what we can see. But unless we on that level where the sinful body or the sinful in us is clear, we won't be able to see them. So that's why the elevate to another level by keeping the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of our ability. That's how we can become on that level. But the next level will, when the Yahushua makes a second coming, provided that we continue in the faith. Right? So now 2 Kings chapter 6 in verse 16 reads, and he answered, fear not, for they that be with us are more than they. Right? So it was an instance where Elisha, prayed for the servant to be able to see the angels, right? In verse 17 says, Elisha prayed and said, Lord, I pray thee, open his eyes that he may see. And the Lord opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw. And behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire round about Elijah. Right? So when we think we are alone, there's a lot happening around about us, the children of Israel, but we can only see when we are at that level, right? When the Most High open our eyes and we begin to keep the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of our ability and try as best as possible to get rid of sin, then we'll be able to see glories of the Most High. But that's why we cannot see the face of the Most High. Now let's read on. Man, there's so much link up in this thing in the verses. The chapter is pretty long. I mean, not that long, so we might as well just get as much as we possibly can here. So now also link with verse 11, Deuteronomy 34 and 10. Deuteronomy 34 and verse 10. Con. 34, yeah, 34.
34.
Yeah, Deuteronomy 34 in verse 10.
For 11.
Con, that's gonna link with 11. Deuteronomy 34 and 10.
Fine.
Outside of Moses, there's no other prophet that the most High speak with face to face, like having a conversation, long conversation. Other instances, he sent angels, right, to bring him messages. But as far as having a conversation face to face, only Moses had that privilege. Right, and it reads, Deuteronomy 34 and 10. And there arose not a prophet since in Israel like unto Moses, whom the Lord knew face to face. Right, whom the Lord knew face to face. Only Moses had that privilege. Not only we're gonna see what Moses said to show that even Moses knew, as a wise man, what to ask the Most High and what he's gonna do, right? And what he's not gonna do if the Most High is not present. So the Most High withdrew himself from our presence was like a smack, right? Because we can't do nothing without the Most High's presence. So if the Most High withdrew himself, that's it, man. That's why the people, they were in distress when the Most High removed himself and said, I'm not gonna deal with you guys.
Didn't the Most High appear to Moses? Didn't he appear to him in the pillar of fire?
Right. The pillar of fire that he appears like cover up everything so that nobody can see. But inside the pillar of fire, he was there.
Okay. But it says he appears to face.
Right. He saw him face to face, meaning he didn't see his face, but the conversation was there. I'm not sure if you came when he was giving the example. You want to give the example?
It'd be like when I have a conversation with me and back.
Yeah.
I hear your voice, but
So that's the situation of being face to face.
Right.
Because they always like to be in your face.
Yeah.
Right.
Because of his hell.
Right. Right. But he was in Moses' presence.
I mean, I guess we mean actually talking to him if you can't see him. But it's supposed to be
Right.
I mean, we can be like, if he was in Moses' presence instead of saying face to face, we need that just like that.
Yeah, he was in his presence, but if you see it as face to face, that's a figure of speech.
Right.
That's the
Because what happened is, it's certain things that we explain in here in physical form. When the Most High explain it, it's completely, it's a different story. So like
Well,
for
For the Most High, it can be face to face because he can say that face to face. It was his glory or his presence is felt, but you not. We impure, we can't be in his presence. There's no way, man.
because for him to be there and we here and we still sin, we done.
Yeah.
We wouldn't even be able to be here to even talk about it.
I said, I'm holy, man.
Let me ask you, it makes sense in terms of we can when the Most High comes back into Jeremiah 31, that he needs a new body,
Right.
a new body. We're not going to be able to send. Maybe at that point in the kingdom,
Mhm.
possibly we'll be able to,
Yeah.
Right.
be able to see him. So
That's why their glory is body.
Right. That's why when we read in John, the first chapter 3 and 2, it says when it appears, we'll be able to see him at some point in the future. Right? When we change to that new body. But Christ, we will still have that same resemblance, but it will be pure. Just like when Yahushua appeared to John, he still had the same resemblance, but yet he was not able to be in his glory, in Yahushua's glory.
The reason I brought up this funny, like somebody that's not well versed in scripture to read that. You know, wait a minute, see that this is the conclusion. They said he going face to face, but no man can see him and live.
Right, that's what they're gonna say too.
Yeah, somebody that don't know the scriptures is not. That's how they look at it.
They understand.
They're gonna say, no, it says face to face.
Yeah.
No, that's what it says.
Yeah.
I know boys like that.
Yeah. You know, say you see them face to face. What you
Oh,
talking
no,
about?
that's right, it's face to face.
But technically, it said who the Lord knew face to face. They didn't say Moses saw him face to face. Exactly.
He actually said face to face, not in that one, but actually said he talked to the other.
Right. Let's read that verse again. In Deuteronomy 34 and 10, right? Deuteronomy 34 and verse 10 says, Deuteronomy 34 and 10 reads, and there arose not a prophet since in Israel like unto Moses, whom the Lord knew face to face.
I think it was really just talking about the conversation, like we talking, not that I'm looking at you face to face, but I don't think he talked to nobody else like that. They went back and forth.
Right.
He had the privilege to go.
And the same way when he was giving Moses the commandments,
Right.
right? It was face to face.
Right.
The Lord is actually from the Most High, face to Moses. So it's like
So we're going to read more on that. All right, so let's go back to Exodus.
He said he couldn't look at it.
Right.
He said I couldn't see it.
He turned his back.
He turned his back.
Then he covered up his face with his hand, didn't he?
Yeah, it was there.
Yeah.
Right. It's kind of like us staring at the sun, right? From very close. No one can do that. No one can do that. Imagine close to the sun. You cannot even do that. That's why you're dead. Right there. All right, so back to Exodus 33 now, verse 12. And Moses said unto the Lord, see, thou sayest unto me, bring up this people, and thou hast not let me know whom thou wilt send with me. So now, here's the conversation. Get interesting, right? Moses said, say, you tell me to bring these people. Now you introduce an angel, right? That I don't even know. You even introduced me to that angel. Why settle for second best? Why are you here? Why can't you come with me? Right? You tell me to bring these people. And now, verse 12, he says, and Moses said unto the Lord, see, thou sayest unto me, bring up this people, and thou hast not let me know whom thou wilt send with me. So you even introduce me to that angel you're going to send with me. You're going to tell me you're going to send another angel, and I'm here with you. Why can't you come with me? Why you bring a third party? I'm speaking with the man. Right? You the man. Why you have got to bring another? You say you know me. You know me by my name, as we're going to read, right? It says, let me know whom thou wilt send with me. Yet thou hast said, I know thee by name. You say you know me by name. We cool like that. We good like that. So why you bring somebody else in between? See, that's Moses having a good, that's a conversation, that's having a real conversation.
Right. Well, he's speaking his mind.
Right, he's speaking his mind, and that's right. So why would you want to send somebody else? You introduce somebody else in between our conversation, and you even introduce me to that person. I know what you can do. I don't know what that next person can do. Right, it says, yet thou hast said, I know thee by name, and thou hast also found grace in my sight. Not only that, on top of that, you say you find grace in my sight. You know what I'm saying? So why settle for second best? Why are you gonna send somebody else? I'm not settling for second best. You're with me, so what's up? Right? So this is the conversation that Moses is having with the Most High. Right? It says, and consider that this nation is thy people. And then this is your people. Right? Supposedly that's your people. You telling me to bring him up. Now you bringing somebody else in between. Right? And you say you find grace in my, I find grace in your sight. Right? And you say you know me by name. I don't understand this whole thing. The key is Moses trusts in the Most High, but he doesn't know what the next person can do, or what the next angel can do. And he already know that, you know, that's his people. So if they are your people, why don't you be there? Why don't you be there? They're your people, but the Most High was angry, don't want to deal with us for our mercy.
Yeah, because the Most High was hot mad, man. You know, he had to cool off. He said he wanted to consume us.
Right. It's in the moment. It's in, you know, get you know, get away from these people. That I'm gonna do away with them in a moment. So he said, imagine, right? Imagine if I'm there and I'm gonna go on a journey with them. Nah, there ain't gonna be any journey. That's it. There ain't gonna be no journey. Right. It says, let me know whom. Okay. Verse 12 again. It says, verse 13. Now therefore I pray thee, if I have found grace in thy sight, show me now thy way. He said, now if I find grace in your sight, just show me thy way. Right? Come.
Before you go any further, forgive me. Shalom, Papa. Shalom, Nelda. Shalom, Israel.
Shalom.
No,
Look what you said.
Say that again.
Or Yahweh, while we're in the flesh, right? In the physical body, right?
Right.
All right. So what I'm asking is that if we, God forbid, if let's say if I pass away today, sometime this evening, will I see him, or will I have to wait until I see him when he's supposed to return? So speaking about Yahweh.
There's a waiting period now.
Right.
There's a waiting period.
I just wanted to make sure I got it, because I heard what you said. You said we're not going to be able to see him as long as we're in the physical body.
Right. But as far as when we go there, there's a period that we got to wait until we appear before him.
All right. The water.
Fine.
The water.
Fine. All right. So in verse 12 again, it says, and thou hast not, verse 13 now. It said, now therefore I pray thee, if I have found grace in thy sight, right? Yashimaya.
Let me just read Job 14:14 for the brothers, give them a better understanding.
Come.
If he's still on the phone, but
yes, he should still be there.
Cool. Job 14:14 says.
Job 14:14.
Job 14:14 says, if a man die, shall he live again? All the days of my appointed time will I wait till my change come. That's the only time you want to see the Messiah or Most High, is when you get that change, you get that new body, that spiritual body, that incorruptible body. Right. You have to wait on that change.
So Job 14:14, for that the question you have. Beautiful. Tawada Kahan Yashimaya. That was Job 14:14. There's a waiting period if we pass to wait for that change to come, so that we'll be able to appear in the Most High's glory. Right, that was Job 14 and verse 14. So back to Exodus now, chapter 33, in verse 13. Now again, it says, now therefore I pray thee, that's Moses speaking, if I have found grace in thy sight, show me now thy way, that I may know thee. Right? That I may find great, that and consider that this nation is thy people. if you find grace in your sight, show me your way that I can consider that this nation is thy people. Right? Show me proof. Right? And that's not a bad thing for him to ask the Most High proof. Why? Because the Most High himself said, prove all things. Right? He said, prove all things. And Moses, being a wise man, he's taking the Most High at his word. Right? So that he stay within the guidelines of the Most High's word and the Most High's rules and regulation. And he's asking the Most High based on rules and regulation that the Most High created for us. Right? He's asking the Most High for proof. 14. And he said, my presence shall go with thee, and I will give thee rest. So that's all what Moses wanted. That's all Moses wanted. Moses wanted the Most High's presence. Moses wasn't going to go anywhere until he knows that the Most High would be in his presence. Right. Otherwise, it will be a failed adventure.
Basically, he's saying, yo, walk with me, man.
That's it.
You gotta take this journey with me, man.
That's it. I'm not going to go with anybody else. You're introducing another person in between. Nah, I know what you can do. Right? I want you to be there with me. I'm not going to do anything unless I know you in my presence. Right. Otherwise, I'm not coming out of this mountain. I'm going to stay here. Or I'm not going to go out of your presence, right? Unless I know that, you're going to be with me. I'm not going to be in that journey. And then the Most High agree, yes, my grace is sufficient for you, and I will be in your presence, Moses. And it says, I will give you rest. And he said unto him, if thy presence go not with me, carry us not up hence. That's it. If your presence don't go, that's it. I don't want to go there. That's it. So now he knew where to draw the line. So that's how you see you can have a conversation with the Most High, but you got to do it in a way where, it's not boastful, or you stay within the line. You don't cross the line.
You know how far to go.
You know how far to go. Absolutely. Verse 16. For wherein shall it be known here that I and thy people have found grace in thy sight? It is not in that thou goest with us, so shall we be separated, I and thy people, from all the people that are upon the face of the earth. Presence is imperative, right, for Moses to continue, right, take on the task. So he didn't want to embark in an adventure without the presence of Moses, knowing that taking this risk is not worth it. Right, so link with verse 14, 33:14, Exodus 40. Exodus 40. And we're gonna read 40, starting at verse 34 to 38. We're gonna read from verse 34 to 38. And Gobar, when you get it, Baba Kusha, if you can read it, that'd be great.
You said verse 33 to 38?
Fine. Now, verse 34. Verse 34
So,
to 38.
All right. Exodus 40, 34 to 38. Then a cloud covered the tent of the congregation, and the glory of the Lord filled the tabernacle. And Moses was not able to enter into the tent of the congregation because the cloud abode thereon. And the glory of the Lord filled the tabernacle. Was taken up from over the tabernacle. The children of Israel went onward in all their journeys. But if the cloud were not taken up, then they journeyed not till the day that it was taken up. For the cloud of the Lord was upon the tabernacle by day, and fire was on it by night. In the sight of all the house of Israel throughout all their journeys.
All right. And the Most High was in the cloud. He was in between the cloud, but it caught the glory of the Most High covered it, and we weren't able to see the Most High, just as Moses saw the Most High, because we could not appear before the Most High in the way we are. All right, there's another scripture. All right, so let's also get Joshua chapter 21, verse 44. Fine. Joshua chapter 21. In verse 44. Yamana Shah, or when you get it, you can read it. Joshua chapter 21 in verse 44.
Joshua 21:44. And the Lord gave them rest round about, according to all that Joshua 21:44. And the Lord gave them rest round about, according to all that he sware unto their fathers. And there stood not a man of all their enemies before them, The Lord deliver all their enemies unto their hand.
Fine. So Moses knew when the Mosai said, okay, I will be with you, I will give you rest. He believed the Mosai. He did not argue and go back and forth with him because he knew that once the Mosai said something, that's what's going to be done. He just wanted to know the Mosai confirmed that he's going to be there. And that's what the Mosai did. Right? So the conversation went well as far as what Moses was looking for. So go back to Exodus now. 33. Verse 17 now. It says, and the Lord said unto Moses, I will do this thing also that thou hast spoken, for thou hast found grace in my sight, and I know thee by name. So now the Most High is responding word by word to the argument or to the statement that Moses made. He said, I'm gonna do this thing that you said about, you know, I found grace in your sight, and also when you say I know you by name, right? He says, I'm gonna address that. He said, by sight, and I know thee by name. And he said, I beseech thee, show me thy glory. So now he wanted to see the Most High's glory. And he said, I will make all my goodness pass before thee, and I will proclaim the name of the Lord before thee, and I will be gracious to whom I will be gracious, on whom I will show mercy. So now Moses requests that he sees the Most High's glory. So I'm going to talk to somebody I don't even know. I don't even see that person. Right? I want to see who I'm talking to, who I'm dealing with. Right? So he made a request to the Most High to be able to see his glory. And he said, thou cannot see my face, for there shall no man see me and live. There it is right there. Proving that that face-to-face wasn't like face-to-face, right? But it was, the conversation was there. The Most High was in Moses' presence, and they were having a conversation. So he requests that he sees the Most High's glory. The Most High said, don't worry, I'm going to make you see everything, except you won't be able to look at me in my face. Right. Because shall no man see my face and live. Right. But you're going to know that I'm in your presence. Right? And we're going to see what action he's going to take to show Moses that he was in his presence. Right. And the Lord said, behold, there is a place by me, and thou shalt stand upon a rock. So now he's giving him instruction in how he's going to reveal him to Moses. He's going to remove. He's going to show himself to Moses. And the Lord said, behold, there is a place by me, and thou shalt stand upon a rock. Verse 22. And it shall come to pass, he passeth by, that I will put thee in a cleft of the rock, and will cover thee with my hand while I pass by. So he's going to cover his face, right, while he passed by, right, because he loved Moses as well as the children of Israel. So he doesn't want him to die, so he will protect them, right, by covering his face while he passed by, right? All that is for our own protection. Verse 23. And I will take away my hand, and thou shalt see my back parts, but my face shall not be seen. So you actually see the Most High. You actually see how the Most High looks like, but not his face.
I mean, that's a beautiful thing. Even when you see your friend go by down the street, you see the back of them. You know what they face look because you see them. But
Right.
the Most High gave you his backside to give you an image of what I look like.
Right.
The only thing you're not going to see is my face.
Right.
You know, so.
And that is for your presence. Now you gotta wait and do what you gotta do. In due time, you'll be able to see my face, but not right now.
Not right now.
You're not ready for it.
So he gave him a blessing still.
Right.
Because he had that team up.
Right. So put my hand over, look, man. That's it. Put my hand over, keep walking.
Yeah.
Right. So just to be able to see that is big.
Good, like you said, Most High loved Moses, so he showed him love.
Right.
He showed him a great deal of love by letting him see.
Because he know you can kill him right out in there. That would kill him. Right. Just be able to see, because he's too powerful, too holy, you know, for you to be that man to be able to see it.
Right.
So let's link up some scriptures for further edification. Fine. No, we're gonna link some more scriptures. With verse 16, link Exodus 19 and 5. With verse 16. Exodus.
You do 16 and what?
With verse 16, we're gonna link Exodus 19 and verse 5. Because we almost done with the chapter here. So we might just I left some scripture out just to see how long it's gonna take. But since we are in good time now, so let's link those scriptures. Exodus 19 and 5. So link with verse 33 and 16 in Exodus with Exodus 19 and 5. So this is speaking about us, Israel, being a peculiar people and belongs to the Most High. So Moses was pretty much stating the scripture that the Most High said, this is my people. So now if this is your people, you got to come with me, right? So you're sending on a mission for your people and you're not going to be there. They're supposed to be your people. I'm just belonging to the same people, right? I'm just somebody who belongs to that people, but you know. And keep in mind also, when we go deeper, Moses was not an Israelite. Moses was more so in Hebrew. Right?
Oh, sure. What's that? Yeah,
Hmm?
it wasn't for. Why was it?
Oh, no. I'm confusing Abraham with Moses.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm confusing. Abraham was in Hebrew.
Right.
All right. So that's why I had to pause for a minute. Abraham was in Hebrew, but not in Israelite.
Right.
All right. Exodus 19 and 5. And it reads, now therefore, if you will obey my voice indeed and keep my covenant, then you shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people, for all the earth is mine. So everything belongs to the Most High. Everything belongs to the Most High. Right? From one end of the earth, and everything contains in it belongs to the Most High. Yashemaiah.
You can make that with Psalm 24 and 1.
Psalm 24 and 1. Psalm 24 and 1. You want to read it? So, and we linking that with verse 16 as well, right?
Right.
Psalm chapter 24, verse 1. And read, the earth is the Lord's, and the fullness thereof, the world and they that dwell therein. So, just to bring it down, everything is his.
Right.
All that dwell on this earth is his. He says it's mine.
Right. All is his. All the nations, Israel, the trees, the roads, everything is his. But it's very important to note that, because sometimes when we speak in those terms of Israelite, in terms of other people, we kind of have the concept that it's us against them, which is true, but keep in mind, everything belongs to the Most High.
Right.
Even the wicked,
Right.
all belongs to the Most High.
Right.
Yeah, in a grand scheme of things, everything belongs to the Most High.
Right.
Also, let's go to the book of Numbers.
Before the last link up 19 verse 5, at least with what?
19 verse 5, it links with verse 16 in Exodus 33:16. So we backtrack. Since we almost done with the chapter, we backtrack and we're linking up some scriptures with the scriptures we already read.
Oh, come. So that's linked with 16.
Con 33:16. And also Psalm 24 and 1. So in the same message that the Most High was giving to Moses, let's see what else he say. Let's stick with the same chapter. We're gonna read the verse that's follow in Exodus 19 and 6. Right? 19 and 6 now. And it says, and ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and an holy nation. These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel. So this is the message that he sent to the children of Israel. So he's addressing the fact that Moses told him that, this is your people. If I have found grace in your sight, then you should come with me. And you said you know me by name. So he's addressing all of that. So now, go to the book of Numbers. Still linking up with verse 16. Numbers, the 14th chapter. Verse 14. Numbers 14 and 14. Good boy. Babu Kushar, read that for us.
All right, Numbers 14 and 14. And they will tell it to the inhabitants of this land, for they have heard that thou, Lord, art among this people, that thou, Lord, art seen face to face, and that thy cloud standeth over them, and that thou goest before them by day time in a pillar of a cloud and in a pillar of fire by night.
All right. But the key is like we are the Most High's people, right? And the Most High always have a part in us, in what we accomplish. So now let's go to verse 18 now. We're going to link 1 Timothy 6 and 16.
Before, let me just ask you a question here. How I link Exodus 19:6 as a future prophecy, right? Where it's let me go back to Exodus 19:6. Let me go back to that real quick. I'm gonna read it, all right? Exodus chapter 19, verse 6. And ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel.
That's a future prophecy.
Right, future prophecy where it's fulfilled in Revelation 5 and 10. You know, if anybody want to link that, read
right, link that. Exodus 19 and 6, also Revelation 5 and 10. So this is a future prophecy where we will be a kingdom of priests. But that message was delivered long time ago.
Right.
Just show that Most High have a long-term plan. You're talking about somebody have a long-term plan? That's a long-term plan. But again, that long-term plan, it depends on how we see it in our time frame. Right? We know the Most High don't count time the same way. But to us, man, that's a long time. Fun. So that's 1 Timothy 6 and 16. We're going to link that with verse 38.
Verse 38?
Fun. I'm sorry, with verse 18. 1 Timothy 6 and 16 linked with verse 33, 18. And I'll read that.
That was 1 Timothy 6 and 16.
Fine. Link that with verse 18.
Done.
All right, so 1 Timothy 6 and 16 reads, as we link that with chapter 33 and 18, it reads, who only have immortality, dwelling in the light, which no man can approach unto, whom no man have seen, nor can see, to whom be honor and power everlasting. Amen or amen. Right? So no man can see. meaning the Son of Man, the children of men. So that was a link to Exodus 33:18. So now link with 33:19, Romans 9:15. Romans 9:15 links with 33:19. Romans 9, chapter 9, verse 15, with Exodus 33:19. This is reiterate what he said. He says, for he said to Moses, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion. So the Most High is sovereign. He made his own rule, right? He doesn't abide by anyone's rules. He have mercy on whom he has mercy, and have compassion on whom he has compassion. Nobody can question him, as to why he did it. Fine. So if he loved Israel, that's it. He loved Israel. If he hate Esau, he hate Esau. Anyone can come and say, no, I don't think so. That doesn't mean anything. So with 33:20, link Genesis 32:30. So from verse 33, fine. Genesis 32 and verse 30. So we're gonna link that can link from 33:20 to 23, right? Right. Genesis 32 verse 30. So you can link it between 33:20 to 23. All right. So
Say
that again.
I got Exodus 33:20, right?
No, Exodus 33:20 all the way to 23.
23.
You can link that with Genesis 32 and 30.
Got it. Thank you.
Fine.
32 and 30.
Fine.
Exodus 33, 22 and 30.
Fine.
And 22 and 23.
Fine. So when the Most High said, I call you by name, also, I will have a class, whenever I get a chance, if we can have I'll have a class on name, given, when names are given. Right, the attributes, what involve in giving names. So it's like three things involved in giving names, right? Three important things that involve in giving names. You have.
Hold on, let me put it down.
Mhm.
There are three important things in giving names.
And then when we have a class, we'll go over the scriptures. The person that's the person that's given the name, the namer, identify the character of the individual taking on the name.
Namer identifies the characteristics.
Right. So identity. Second, the namer implies that it implies the knowledge, right? The namer implies that he understands enough about the circumstance that describe the person that's taking on the name.
The name implies that. Did you get it again?
He understands enough about the name person or the person taking on the name. It could be based on a circumstance, based on an event. And the third one, the person that's given the name or the namer has authority over the person being named. But that's why I explain sometimes the Most High will change people's name because he has authority to do so. That's why when we came in slavery, we were slaves, they changed our name because the slave master had authority to change our name and give us different names.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why Adam was given authority to name everything.
Okay.
Right, so that's a class. So we'll go over that and bring out the scriptures. So when Moses said, "You know me by name," so he implies that the Most High know everything about him. So if you know me by name, you understand everything about me. You know my identity, right? You have knowledge of everything that I'm gonna do, right? And what I can and cannot do, and you have authority over changing my name. So you can change based on an event. You can change my name from this to that based on certain circumstances. All right, so we had Revelation 5 and 10, right? We're gonna link that. No, we had Genesis 32 and 30. All right. So in Genesis 33 in verse 30, and it reads, "And Jacob called the name of the place Peniel, for I have seen God face to face, and my life is preserved." So it was common that no man would see the Most High face to face and live. That's a common thing. All right, so that we're gonna finish up Exodus now. Let's finish up a few scriptures that we have left.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so that was it. Actually, we read everything. All right, so that's conclude chapter. We will reconvene in the next half hour. I would say by 1:31, so we can take on chapter 34. All right, so stay tuned for the next chapter. Shalom.
What was that last week up with Exodus 34 and 30? That links with what?
That links with Genesis 32 and 30. I'm sorry, Genesis 32 and 30 links with 33 and 20 and also 23.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, but the last one I got was Exodus 34 and 30.
Right.
At least 20, I got you.
All right, so we'll reconvene in the next half hour. So now let's push it to 31, 32. All right. Shalom.
Shalom.
Why?
Fun.
It has to be 32 and 30, because you can't go with 33 and 30. The 33 only goes to 20.
All out here and pull up, man.
Excellent. You found me? Exodus only go from 33, 23, going to 24, 34. So it's 32 and 30, right?
Now hold on, let me get it.